When I first really contemplated switching from an iPhone to a simpler flip phone, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to do all the things that I need to do. This worry was pretty vague. There was maybe a few things that I wouldn't be able to do with a flip phone that I could with an iPhone, but there was always another way to accomplish those things. Still, the idea that an iPhone is so sophisticated, one of the most sophisticated devices, going without it was surely gonna make me lose out on something. And this logic does hold up. Our smartphones are so useful for various tasks. I mean, you can really do anything with your smartphone. It's a little tiny computer and is just as powerful as the one on your desk. Since switching to a flip phone, I realized that my worries weren't really that big of a deal. A smartphone can't compare to the productivity tool that a flip phone is. Before we get into why a flip phone is such a productive tool, let's talk about what productivity is. Or let's talk about what productivity is not. It's not doing more things. It's doing the right thing. The tasks that help you towards your goals and what you really value in life. Ever since I've switched to a flip phone, it's like I've turned down the chatter of the notifications and the buzz that comes from my old smartphone and lets me tune in to what's really happening around me, what I truly value in life. Hey, if you want to do something really productive, other than just switching over to a flip phone from your smartphone, go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out. It helps me get on the good side of the YouTube algorithm. And I'm excited to produce a lot more cool content also. So appreciate that. Go ahead and like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Yes, in a lot of ways, iPhones are the ultimate productivity tool. iPhones combine so many functions into one device that the potential for you to find a tool that's going to help you do more things is definitely going to happen. When I have all of these tools available to me, it really just makes me overwhelmed, have decision fatigue, and inefficiently multitask. When I think of like something I need to add to the grocery list and I go to my iPhone, I would write it down and then most likely somehow wind up on a social media and be scrolling for 15 minutes when all I really wanted to do was jot down what I needed to get from the grocery store. But with my flip phone, I really minimize distractions, which allows me to have much more deep focus sessions where I'm spending time working on one task for 30 or 40 minutes, which is definitely when the real good work starts happening. The simplicity of the phone allows more attention to the task that I'm working on. I also noticed that my flip phone promotes beneficial multitasking. So I'm starting to listen a lot more to podcasts and audiobooks and things instead of spending time sitting down on the couch and, watching a YouTube or scrolling through social media. And what listening allows me to do is frees up my hands, and I can fold laundry while listening to something really interesting. It makes a lot of those tasks that I deem as boring a little bit more interesting. Another thing I've been doing is calling people more. It's honestly not very easy to text on a flip phone because of the keys. Because of that, I'm either sending a voice message to a friend or I'm giving them an old-fashioned ring. And I am a firm believer that why set a meeting when you can just email? But when it comes to people who are really important to you, giving them a phone call or talking to them with your voice is so much better than sending them a text. Instead of giving people in the social media world attention, I'm focusing my efforts on the people that I love. And what I've noticed before when I do give attention to people in social media, they have the ability to alter how I experience my day and how I'm feeling. And that is something really powerful, and I only want that to be available to the people that I care about. And because a flip phone can honestly be such a pain to use, this friction allows me to focus more on what's physically happening in my life. And I don't rely as much on my phone for answers to what the weather's like or what type of news is happening far away from me. Having the ability to look up an answer really quickly on my iPhone was really nice. But what I've noticed is that instead, what I do is I'll write down that question, and then later on, when I have the time to either access a computer or fumble around on my flip phone, I can then get that answer. And I might even realize that it's really not that important of a question, and I'll just forget about it. And speaking of writing things down, I've been using pen and paper a lot more since I've flipped to a flip phone. Not only does handwriting help with memory retention and focus, but also it keeps everything in one place. I've noticed that when I was using, a smartphone, there were so many different places I could put a thought or put the work I'm doing, whether it's on Notion or on a Google Doc or reminders. Could be so many different places. And I often forgot about where I kept that piece of knowledge that I had. Now that I've been writing things down in a specific notebook, I always know where to find what I've been thinking about recently. Now that I have put away my smartphone, I rely on my notebook so much more. And it just feels like something good to rely on. There's really is something special about your journal. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Maybe you think so too. These are some things that I noticed from switching from a iPhone to a simpler flip phone. I've become a lot more productive and just in tune with what's going on in my life at the moment, feeling more grounded and just focused. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and I appreciate it too if you liked and subscribed, and I can keep this content going and you can be aware of it. So hey, I appreciate your time, I appreciate you, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and maybe you'll switch from an iPhone to a flip phone. And if you do, let me know. If you've already done it, please let me know too. We'll talk soon.